when you feel like you're reaching the limit of what you can handle, when your strength feels thin and the days seem heavier than they should be, I want you to know something from the very beginning. This moment is not the end of your story. You are not standing here alone, and you are not expected to face everything in your own strength. Sometimes life pushes us to the edge of what we thought we could carry, not to break us, but to teach us how deeply supported we truly are. There are seasons where everything feels louder, faster, more demanding. You try to show up for others, for your responsibilities, for the expectations placed on you. And eventually, you notice that you haven't had a moment to breathe. You look around and think, I didn't expect life to feel like this. I didn't expect to be this tired. And yet, here you are, still standing, even if a little worn, even if a little fragile. If you've been feeling that way, take a slow breath right now. Let your shoulders soften just a little. Let your mind loosen its grip. This moment is for you, a place to rest for a while, to receive the strength your heart has been quietly craving. You don't need to pretend with yourself. You don't need to force a smile or tell your mind that everything is okay when it doesn't feel okay. What you need is honesty and a gentle reminder. Even when you feel weak, God is not. Even when you feel tired, His presence carries you. And even when you don't see the way forward, the path does not end here. This is only a chapter, not the final page. Many people don't talk about the weight they carry. They move through life silently holding fears, worries, emotional wounds, unfinished responsibilities, and pressures that nobody else sees. You might be doing the same, trying to keep it all together, trying not to disappoint anyone, trying to be strong for everyone around you. But strength is not the absence of struggle. Strength is choosing to keep walking, even slowly, even softly, even when you feel unsure. Let me tell you a story. There was once a traveler walking through a long and quiet valley. Each day felt a little heavier than the one before. The hills seemed steeper, the air colder, and the path endless. He carried a pack on his back filled with memories, fears, expectations, and hopes that had started to feel like stones. He didn't know where the path would lead, but he kept moving because stopping felt even scarier. Sometimes he whispered to himself, I'm not sure how much longer I can do this. One evening, exhausted, he stopped beside a small stream. He sat down on a smooth rock and watched the water flow. It wasn't rushing, it wasn't strong or forceful. It was gentle, quiet, patient. The water moved around obstacles with grace. It didn't fight the stones. It simply flowed, steady and faithful, carving its path one small moment at a time. As the traveler watched the slow stream, he finally understood something. Strength isn't always loud. Strength isn't always bold or dramatic. Real strength is often quiet and persistent. It is the kind of strength that doesn't ask you to run or leap or climb mountains every day. Sometimes strength is simply taking one more small step forward, and sometimes it is allowing yourself to rest. The traveler didn't suddenly gain all the energy he needed, but he found enough strength for the next step, and the next, and the next. He realized that he didn't need the strength for the entire journey. He only needed enough for today. Tomorrow would bring its own supply. Your life is much like that. You don't need every answer. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to know how everything will turn out. All you need is enough peace for this moment and enough courage for your next step. God gives strength in portions, not in bulk, and He gives exactly what you need, exactly when you need it. If you've been pushing yourself too hard, let this be your permission to slow down. You don't have to rush healing. You don't have to force clarity. You don't have to pretend you're okay just because you feel pressured to move forward. Healing takes time. Growth takes time. Learning takes time. And you are allowed to take all the time you need. You might feel like you've reached your limit, but sometimes what feels like a limit is really a turning point. It is the moment where you stop trying to carry everything alone and allow space for something higher, something steadier, something wiser to guide you. You don't have to earn love. You don't have to earn your worth. You don't have to prove that you're strong. You simply have to be open to help, open to grace, open to the possibility that your story is still unfolding in ways you cannot see. There is a quiet invitation in your exhaustion. It is an invitation to let go of what is too heavy for you, to release the battles that are not yours to fight, to surrender the pressure of expectations that were never meant for your shoulders. Sometimes letting go is the most courageous thing you can do. It is not defeat, it is wisdom. Take another breath with me. Slow, gentle, unforced. You are allowed to take up space in this world without carrying everything at once. You are allowed to rest without apologizing. You are allowed to move slowly, heal slowly, grow slowly. Let's pause a moment and reflect on a few truths your heart might need to hear. You are doing better than you think. You have survived every difficult day you've ever faced. You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to take breaks. You are allowed to breathe. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is simply rest and trust that God is still working behind the scenes, even when you feel nothing, even when you see nothing. His presence is not measured by your emotions. He is here, steady and patient, walking beside you in every moment, even in the quiet ones. If you want, let's make space for a gentle prayer. God, I come to you feeling tired and stretched thin. You know the burdens I carry, even the ones I keep hidden. Give me peace that settles my mind. Give me strength that lifts my heart. Guide me one step at a time and remind me that I am not walking alone. Fill me with hope and surround me with your calm presence. Amen. Stay here a moment. Let these words settle. You are stronger than the moment you are facing. You are braver than you give yourself credit for. You are held by a love that does not let go, supported by a strength that does not run out. What you're feeling right now is not a sign that you're failing. It is a sign that you have carried too much for too long. This season will not break you. It will shape you. It will deepen you. It will teach you to trust in ways you've never had to trust before. And on the other side of this experience, you will see how every step, even the painful ones, was leading you somewhere meaningful. You don't have to rush. You don't have to push. Just breathe. You have permission to take life one gentle moment at a time. Peace is closer than it feels. Strength is closer than it seems. And hope is rising within you slowly, steadily, quietly, like water flowing through a valley, shaping your path with every soft movement. You are not at your limit. You are at the edge of a new beginning, and you are not walking into it alone. There comes a moment in every difficult season when you begin to see small signs of life returning to your heart. They don't always show up as big breakthroughs. Sometimes they appear as tiny moments of clarity or a single breath that feels lighter than the one before. Sometimes it's the sense that even though you're tired, something inside you is quietly choosing to keep going. This is how strength often returns, not all at once, but gently, patiently, like the sunrise slowly climbing over the horizon. Even now, something in you is being rebuilt. You may not see it clearly, you may not feel it yet, but every moment you slow down, every moment you breathe, every moment you choose not to give up, you are strengthening muscles of courage and resilience that pressure alone could never develop. Growth is rarely loud. Healing is rarely dramatic. It happens quietly, deep inside you, in places no one else can see. Let's take a moment and reflect on a simple truth. The world asks you to be fast, but your soul grows in calm. The world asks you to be productive, but your spirit heals in silence. The world tells you to be strong, but God meets you in your honesty. You don't have to fight every hour of the day. You don't have to keep all the pieces together. You don't have to carry every weight at the same time. You can release the pressure just for now. Here are a few gentle practices that can help you regain strength during difficult moments. First, practice the rhythm of slow breathing. It may sound simple, but breathing is one of the most powerful tools you have. When you inhale deeply and exhale slowly, your nervous system begins to calm. Your mind clears, your emotions settle. Try it now. A slow inhale and a long exhale. Let it soften your inner world. Second, learn to name what you feel. Not everything you feel has to be fixed, but everything you feel deserves to be acknowledged. When you say to yourself, "I feel overwhelmed," or "I feel disappointed," or "I feel tired," something inside you relaxes. Naming your emotions brings them out of the shadows and into the light, where they can begin to heal. Third, begin to release the things that no longer belong to you. Release the expectations you cannot meet. Release the fears that drain you. Release the thoughts that repeat without bringing clarity. You don't have to hold everything. You don't have to carry every story to its end. Some things were never meant to stay with you. As you practice these small steps, you create space inside your heart. Space for peace, space for wisdom, space for God's presence to rest in you. And in that space, strength slowly grows again. There is a kind of strength that develops only in the quiet places of life, the places where you slow down long enough to notice your own heart again. When you're constantly rushing, constantly giving, constantly solving problems, your inner world becomes crowded. But when you stop, even briefly, you begin to hear the gentle voice inside you, the one that reminds you that you were not created to live exhausted. Sometimes we confuse pressure with purpose. We think that if something feels heavy, it must be important. But heaviness is not the same as meaning. You can be carrying things that feel urgent but are not truly yours. You can be weighed down by expectations that do not reflect your calling. And sometimes you can feel tired not because you are weak, but because you've been strong for too long without rest. Let's talk about rest for a moment. Not just physical rest, but emotional and spiritual rest. Rest is not laziness. Rest is repair. Rest is alignment. Rest is when God restores the parts of you that have been stretched beyond their limits. When you rest, you return to yourself. You return to clarity. You return to the truth that you were held by something larger than your own effort. Here are a few practices that can help you find real rest. First, simplify your inner world. Ask yourself, what truly matters today? When you focus on what is essential, your mind becomes clearer and your heart becomes lighter. You don't have to solve everything in one day. You only need to tend to the moments that belong to today. Second, practice gratitude slowly. Not quickly, not as a checklist, but as a deep recognition of the small gifts in your life. Gratitude softens the hardest seasons. It reminds you that even in difficulty, there is still beauty, still goodness, still light that finds its way to you. Third, allow yourself to ask for help. Asking for help is not weakness. It is humility. It is honesty. It is wisdom. You were not meant to walk every valley alone. Sometimes God strengthens you through the presence, words, or kindness of others. And finally, remember that rest is not something you earn. It is something you need. When you allow yourself to rest, you create space for healing to enter your story. And healing always brings new beginnings. As you move toward the end of this message, I want you to take a slow breath and let everything settle. You've been carrying so much, more than most people realize. And yet here you are, still searching for peace, still reaching for hope, still trying to find meaning in the middle of everything you feel. That alone shows a profound strength inside you. There is something deeply important about moments like this, moments where you pause long enough to connect with your heart and with God. These moments remind you that you are more than your stress, more than your fears, more than the pressure you've been living under. You are a soul, created with purpose, capable of healing, capable of rising again. Let's take this time for a final reflection. You are allowed to slow down. You are allowed to let go of the things that drain you. You are allowed to start again. You are allowed to walk at the pace of grace, not urgency. Your life does not have to be perfect to be meaningful. Your journey does not have to be easy to be important. Even in seasons of struggle, you are growing in ways that will matter deeply later on. Every moment of patience, every moment of honesty, every moment of courage is shaping you from within. Let me speak a few affirmations to your heart. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not forgotten. You are protected. You are guided. You are growing in ways you cannot see. Even when you feel tired, God is gently holding your story. He knows your fears, your hopes, your burdens, and every moment where you've whispered, "I don't know if I can keep going." He is not disappointed in you. He is not distant from you. His strength is closest when yours feels small. If you want to join in a final prayer, let your heart soften for a moment. God, thank you for being with me in every step of this journey. Thank you for seeing the parts of me that feel tired and worn. Give me the strength I need for today. Give me peace that settles deeply into my spirit. Guide my thoughts, calm my emotions, and show me the path forward. Help me release what is too heavy and trust you with what I cannot control. Let your light cover me and lead me into rest, into hope, and into new beginnings. Amen. As you go forward from here, remember this: you are stronger than you know, more loved than you realize, and more supported than you can imagine. This season will not break you. It is shaping you into someone wiser, softer, and stronger. Take life one gentle step at a time. Peace is near. Strength is rising. Hope is awakening within you. You are not at your limit. You are at the beginning of something new, and you are not walking into it alone. There is something powerful that happens when you give yourself permission to slow down, breathe, and reconnect with the strength inside you. You begin to notice things you couldn't see when everything felt rushed and heavy. You begin to feel the soft return of clarity, the quiet rise of courage, the gentle reminder that you are capable of more than you realize. This moment right now is a turning point, a place where your heart begins to lift again. You have walked through difficult moments before, and each time something inside you grew stronger, wiser, and more resilient. You may not always feel that strength, but it is there. It lives beneath the noise, beneath the pressure, beneath the fear. And when you slow down, that strength begins to speak again. It says, "You can keep going. You are not done yet." Let's take a moment and imagine something together. Picture yourself standing on a quiet path at the edge of a wide, open landscape. The air is calm. The sky is warm with gentle light. There is space around you, space to breathe, space to think, space to rest. In this moment, nothing is rushing you. Nothing is demanding more than you can give. You are simply here, standing in a place where you can feel your own heart again. As you look ahead on that path, imagine that every step you take releases some of the weight you've been carrying. With the first step, exhaustion begins to loosen its grip. With the next step, doubt becomes a little quieter. With another step, tension starts to fade. And with each movement forward, you feel more grounded, more centered, more yourself. This path represents your journey, not the one others expect you to walk, not the one fear tries to push you into, but the one your spirit knows is meant for you. And your steps don't have to be fast. They don't have to be perfect. They simply need to be yours. One steady moment at a time. Let's reflect on a few truths that can help guide your journey forward. You do not have to solve everything today. You do not have to carry every burden at once. You do not have to be strong every minute of the day. You are allowed to pace yourself. You are allowed to listen to your body and your emotions. You are allowed to take life slowly. Real progress rarely looks dramatic. It often looks like choosing peace when stress tries to take over, choosing patience when frustration grows, choosing truth when fear whispers lies. It looks like choosing one small step forward instead of giving up. These small steps matter more than you imagine. Every gentle act of self-kindness, every moment of patience, every deep breath is shaping a stronger version of you. Now let's focus on your inner dialogue, the voice inside you that speaks the loudest when life is difficult. You've probably noticed that this voice can become harsh, impatient, or afraid, but you have the ability to retrain it. Your mind listens to the words you repeat. Your heart responds to the tone you use. So let's speak to yourself with truth and compassion. Repeat quietly in your mind, "I am doing my best, and it is enough. I am allowed to rest without guilt. I am allowed to move forward at my own pace. I am learning, I am growing, I am healing. I am stronger than I feel, braver than I think, and more capable than I know." Let these words settle into you, not as wishes, but as truths. Now let's turn to action. Gentle, simple actions that help you regain strength in real life. The first action is clarity. Take a moment each day to ask yourself, what is truly important right now? When you focus on what genuinely matters, not what feels urgent, not what others demand, your heart becomes lighter and your path becomes clearer. The second action is boundaries. Protect your energy. Say no to what drains you. Say yes to what supports your well-being. Not every request deserves your time. Not every voice deserves your attention. Your peace is valuable. Treat it as such. The third action is renewal. Do one small thing each day that restores you. Even if it is just sitting in silence for a moment, drinking water slowly, stepping outside to feel the air, or journaling a single thought. Renewal doesn't come from big gestures. It comes from consistent, small ones. The fourth action is connection. Reach out to someone you trust. You don't need to share every detail of your life, but even a simple conversation can shift your emotional landscape. Being seen and heard is one of the most healing experiences a human being can have. And the fifth action is hope. Hope is not a feeling, it is a decision to believe that there is something meaningful ahead, a decision to trust that your story is still unfolding, a decision to hold on to light even on days when it feels dim. Take another slow breath. Let your body soften, let your heart open, let your mind settle. You are stepping into a new chapter of your life, one marked not by exhaustion, but by clarity. Not by pressure, but by purpose. Not by fear, but by courage. The strength you've been searching for is already inside you. It may be quiet, but it is steady. It may be gentle, but it is real. And as you move forward, remember this: your value is not measured by your productivity. Your worth is not determined by your performance. Your identity is not defined by your difficult moments. You are allowed to be human. You are allowed to begin again. You are allowed to take the time you need. This moment is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a healthier, wiser, stronger version of you. Keep walking, keep breathing, keep choosing hope. You are not walking alone. As you come to the end of this moment, let your heart settle into a gentle calm. You've spent this time reconnecting with your strength, your clarity, and your purpose. Even if the road ahead still holds challenges, something inside you has shifted. You are no longer carrying everything the same way. You are breathing differently, thinking differently, standing differently. Take one more slow breath. Feel how your chest rises and how it softens as you exhale. This is what renewal feels like: simple, quiet, real. Remember that you are allowed to move through life at a pace that honors your well-being. You are allowed to choose peace more often. You are allowed to let go of the weight that doesn't belong to you. And you are allowed to trust that your life is unfolding with purpose, even when you cannot see the full picture. As you continue forward, carry this truth with you. You are growing. You are healing. You are becoming stronger in ways that truly matter. Keep walking with intention. Keep breathing with patience. Keep choosing hope, one gentle moment at a time. You are not alone on this journey, and you never will be. Before you go, if this message brought you even a small sense of peace or strength, we invite you to gently support this journey. Giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel helps us continue creating content like this and allows these messages of hope to reach others who may need them right now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for walking this path with us. May light guide you forward, one step at a time.